lot of people think that assistive technology is a high-tech device, like getting a new computer or an iPad or a fancy phone to help them do things, but assistive technology can also be considered getting a built-up device to put on your pen or pencil so that you can write more independently, getting a touch lamp so you can turn your lights on and off more easily. So it varies from being more on the low-tech side to being very high-tech in terms of communication and computer devices. Assistive technology is any type of item or device or product that's going to help improve, maintain, or increase the capabilities of a person who has any type of disability, including MS.
One of the major problems that I struggle with is difficulty with concentration and performing my job tasks because I can't remember things, and by writing things down and, really helps me because I'm a visual person. If I write it down or record it, then I have a way of going back, and that's a good strategy.
We have a large and vast amount of options for our patients in terms of environmental control units, computer access, communication, and even leisure activities. The other thing we do try to show our patients is all computers do have a computer access area where you can change the settings. So there's a sticky keys button if they are constantly hitting the same key or they can't pick their hand up off the keyboard fast enough. There is a setting that will decrease this and allow them to type more independently. Voice recognition software is available, things such as Dragon Naturally Speaking, so that somebody can download the software into their computer and be able to type just by speaking into a microphone. We do recommend that for patients who may have decreased strength in their arms and hands, but it's not appropriate for everybody because some of the MS patients will complain that they get more fatigued when they talk. In terms of cognition, we try and provide things that are going to help patients more or less like keep track of what they have to do during the day. So we'll do more low-tech things for that, keeping a calendar. Some people like to keep it on their iPhones or on their iPad or computer.
When I go on a computer, for assignments, I have a to-do list and I can just type them up there and it flashes on the computer. And I have a smartphone, certainly I can put things on my smartphone, and I can also record on my phone if I don't remember things, because I can go back to the recording, listen to the recording of things I can't remember.
The only thing that we do try to really focus on, whatever we give the patient, we want to make sure that they can use it independently and that they're going to use it. So what we try and do is trial different types of equipment because not everything works for everybody. And the same thing, just because you have MS doesn't mean that this one piece of equipment is going to work for you. So we trial different things and see what they're most comfortable using before we advise them to purchase it. It's important to try different things before you purchase it because these items are really expensive and you don't want to waste your money and buy something that you may not use and may not work for you. What I'd like to do now is just go through some of the equipment that we do offer to some of our patients for various reasons. So we'll start over here. This is an example of a joystick that we may give a patient who has a hard time handling a standard size mouse. There are buttons on it to go up and down, and this is just an easier way to just kind of rest your palm on it to move the mouse where you want it to go on the computer screen. This is an example of our smaller keyboard, which we would use or provide with somebody who has one hand that's weaker than the other. This way they're exerting a little bit less energy by typing with that one hand during their work day. Here's an example of a speakerphone that we have for our patients. It's actually pre-programmable. You can program 10 phone numbers into it and use this remote control to scroll through to see who you want to call. This remote control is also used to dial and hang up, and it's great because it can be worn around the neck. That way it's available at all times. Here's an example of a voice amplifier, which we would provide to a patient who may have a hard time sustaining their voice volume throughout the day. It's worn as a headset and makes working in any type of environment a little bit easier for both the patient and the person that they're working with. Here's a mouse that we would provide to somebody who has a lot of tremors or ataxia in one arm or hand. Instead of having to hold on to a smaller mouse and move around, they can put their hand in here. There are are buttons for the pads of their fingers that they can click when they want to click on something. And it's just they need to make more of a gross movement to actually move things on the screen. This is one of our keyboard covers, which can actually be customized for any keyboard, and it's to help just be able to hit one key at a time instead of hitting multiple keys and getting frustrated when you're trying to type a letter or a report. And the last thing we have is our environmental control unit, which can be pre-programmed to control things in either the home or work environment, including the lights, the fan, the air conditioner, so that everything is right on this one control and you can take it with you room to room.